we are watching one of Ruler's games. Playing Lucian today. This is an LPL game actually. This is game 2. He actually played Lucian in game 1 as well, but I didn't start, or the video didn't start from the beginning, so I'm just gonna skip that game 1 and we're gonna start with game 2. Where they're playing against another LPL team called NIP. I think Rookie was on this team last year. I'm not sure who's on the roster this year. Ruler's still on JDG. Pretty sure this is patch 14.1, so it's a little bit older. This is when they're still using the double support items on bot lane. You know, I think even though they nerfed the double support items, I think just some of the concepts are still relevant. Ushinami and these kinds of lanes. So yeah, let's take a look. In terms of comps, I don't know the enemy comp right now, but in terms of their comp, yeah, pretty typical comp. Just tanks in the front, and then Talia and Lucian, Nami in the back. So pretty much just front to back team fighting. No champs like Jax or Ken or anything like that where there'd be any flanks like that. But yeah, I'm not sure what the matchup bot lane is. We'll take a look in a sec here. But they're already playing pretty aggressive. The timer is 120. It looks like they're going for a late invade. But this is where the VOD starts off with. Okay, it's Melio, Caitlyn. Are they full HP? I guess Caitlyn was a little bit low, maybe from an earlier chunk that we missed, but seems like they lost this trade actually. Well, Caitlyn's a little bit chunked versus Nami's HP. Maybe it's a win. I'm not sure. You see, just right away, I'm not sure what runes Ruler took, or I guess, actually, no, we have an idea. So he took first strike, right? Typically, all the Lucians take first strike now because you'll see in like the mid late game when Lucian and Nami start to get items, when he gets rapid fire cannon, he just ease in, procs rapid fire, or like kind of just like does like a full commit off the dash, and you'll see that first strike gets like so much value, so much gold. That's the reasoning behind first strike. It's especially true with like the casters like Lucian Nami, Lucian Melio. Definitely want to take first strike. And then yeah, I'm assuming he went first strike, free boots, biscuits, Cosmic Insight, and then you see his mana flow here. So we know he went Sorcery second, he went Mana Flow, and then I think we saw Scorch earlier. I don't know if Nami might also have Scorch. I think since it's like a range versus range matchup, Scorch has a lot of value because you're trading so heavily. So that extra damage from Scorch actually matters. And I think just a couple other things soon off the bat. He started Q, which I think is interesting. We can take a look, but I think it's because Melio and Caitlyn face checked the Tribush. A lot of Lucians will start W just to get that first strike proc off and a mana flow proc off. He was not what I was expecting. He also took Ignite. I am assuming Nami took heal. I feel like this is only done in like the Lucian lanes because like he's the one that is dashing in, so he can activate Ignite a little bit easier than a Nami would. Nami wants to stay like behind the Lucian. She's much safer that way. And then you went longsword 3 pots. This makes a lot of sense to me. This 2v2 matchup, since they're both range, you're going to see it's going to be super high harass. So you want the extra potions for sure. Yeah, let's go back and see if he skilled Q before, like right before the fish check or what. Okay, so he didn't skill anything. He sees Melio and then he skills Q. So I think because they face checked, he skills Q. If they didn't face check, I'm 100% sure he would have skilled W because it's just easier to land. Especially since Caitlyn outranges you at level 1, like you can't even land your Q if you start Q. That's the logic behind that. Yeah, already heavy harass going on. He misses his Q here. Let me take note of the Rel is level 1 invading the enemy jungler. I think it's Vi. So the Rel is going to be playing bot side because this lane is so volatile. There's like no real value in the Rel like ganking for the Udyr. The Udyr, even if he falls a little bit behind, 20, 30 CS behind, he's still going to be just as useful. You see here, they keep autoing the wave because, yeah, you want to hit 2 first, right? You want to hit 2 first, you want to keep harassing. You want to keep harassing so that Rel can eventually dive this lane. And that's how you win these range versus range matchups. Typically, I would say it's probably really hard for Lucian and Nami to even get the wave to this state. I'd say they're actually like winning the lane right now because like Caitlyn has so much higher range than Lucian. Like, if both laners came normally, Caitlyn will always have push because she has higher range, right? She can always outrange Lucian. Whenever Lucian tries to CS, Caitlyn gets a free auto without any retaliation. But because they cheesed the Tribush at level 1, the Caitlyn and Emilio, or it's mainly the Caitlyn that we saw. The Caitlyn is more chunked, so she can't pressure as hard as she normally would be able to at level 1. That's why even though Ruler doesn't have push, the wave is still in a good spot because normally it'd be like here and they would be getting shit on at turret while they're CSing. You see the NYP bot lane here is actually aggressing. We saw the Caitlyn actually burn heal here, so very, very aggressive trade here. This is super common in pro play where people will burn mainly heal barrier aggressively just to win a trade. The effect of using heal and barrier aggressively really levels is creates like a cascading effect basically. So like yes, obviously heal level 1 doesn't heal as much as like a level 3 or 4 heal, right? But if you use that heal movement speed to land 3 more auto attacks, you are threatening a dive, you are creating a cascading effect basically. It's an exponential effect. You're threatening a dive. That's the idea behind it. If you've played League in like season 3, season 4, or whatever, like people associate these ranged supports as like super pussy, right? Super beta, like just sit back, kind of heal and shield your carries. But nowadays, it's actually quite the opposite. Like I know in solo queue, like your supports probably still play like super back and super safe and scared, but you actually want to be playing more aggressive with a range support. It's a little bit counterintuitive in that sense. Want to keep autoing the wave here so that you can get level 2. It's okay if you lose the push, right? The important thing is that you're thinning the wave here so that you don't get overwhelmed with creeps. Even if you hit level 2 a little bit slower than the Caitlyn Melio, by thinning the wave and lowering the HP of these two melees, you can kind of control when you're going to hit level 2, right? Like you can hit level 2 very, very shortly after the Caitlyn Melio, which is really important. So there's one creep off. But as soon as he hit 2, he dashes in. You see the Caitlyn actually just barriered here. So once again, just using barrier and heal very aggressively, right? Especially barrier. Barrier has a really low cooldown. If you just use it to trade, you will win the trade, right? Because you have barrier, you have a shield. Yeah, just want to abuse the cooldown of barrier. Okay, same thing here. The wave is pushing towards him, but you don't want to be overwhelmed at turret where there's like, I don't know, like 10 creeps, right? If there's 10 creeps at your turret and you're facing Caitlyn, you're just gonna get beat on at the turret, right? So the idea is you want to thin the wave. You want to sneak in auto attacks on the minions to lower their HP when Caitlyn can't auto you back. The wave is already getting quite large here, but like most of these creeps are pretty low, so it's okay. But you can just imagine if he didn't thin the wave back earlier, just what kind of predicament he'd be in. He'd be getting absolutely blasted. It looks like the Caitlyn Meal are actually going home here because they're not staying to harass him under turret. It looks like they're going home here, so super, super good spot here as Lucian in the early game. I would think he tries to push out the next wave and then base. Actually, no, I think even though the next wave isn't a cannon wave, let's say like you think they went home, right? You think they went home, so you think you can quickly push the next wave and then base, right? But let's say like Caitlyn and Emilio are just waiting in this bush. You use all your mana to push out the next wave, and then they show up and they didn't actually recall. Then they freeze on you. You have no resources to contest them. So I think they're just going to base right after this wave. But we'll see what happens. That's my guess. Okay, and I'm wrong. It looks like, yeah, they didn't press base immediately, so they're going to push it out. Oh, the Emilio did stay, but the Caitlyn based. What if the Caitlyn also stayed in this bush? Maybe their thinking is that they actually do have enough resources to fight them and actually get their wave in. I guess he has biscuits, so if he runs out of mana, he can get that mana back pretty quickly, and he still has 2 potions. And we saw that Caitlyn had no barrier, no heal, so I think that's the logic that they would be using to make this decision to push it out. You want to make sure the wave gets in, and then you need to hurry the fuck up in base, because the Caitlyn is already on her way home. The Caitlyn is probably like at tier 1 turret by now, you know what I mean? You see, like the Melio is trying, he knows that the JDG bot lane wants to base, right? So he's trying to stop Ruler's base here. But yeah, Nami's just playing some defense, not letting the Melio enter the bush. That's the idea here. One benefit of the longsword start is you get your item spikes faster, right? You're not spending 400 gold on a Dorn's Blade. You're using that 350 gold. You're already contributing to your first item. So that is the one thing about longsword start. You'll see here, yeah, he buys a support item because we're playing on that patch where double support item is broken, which is expected, right? Yeah, and then he buys the Kirchhoff shard. Yeah, that's just like the best buy he has with the money. But this item is low-key like better than it looks. I used to think for the longest time that this item was like kind of trash, but it actually does quite a bit of damage. Very underrated. Obviously, he's taking first strike this game, but you'll see a lot of like the mid lane champs that take fleet footwork, like Tristana, like AD LeBlanc, they will just rush Kirchhoff Shard because it helps you stack the fleet footwork faster. So you're getting more fleet footwork rocks. So in that sense, it's like more sustained. So super, super useful item. Yeah, so the problem here is that, well, actually both supports didn't go home. Pretty even footing right now. I'm not sure what the Caitlyn bought, but we'll see. And we're expecting, this is competitive, right? So it's obviously different than solo queue, but the Rel should be playing bot side. The Rel hasn't bought yet, as we can see here. She still hasn't bought. We're expecting her to base pretty soon, but she should come back to bot. What did the Caitlyn buy? Okay, all she bought actually was a longsword and a refillable. So technically, we have better items in her. It's not enough where you can just dash in, right? You have to still look at the wave states because it's early game and the creeps hurt really bad. Wave is in a good spot, so you can play aggressive here if you see the opportunity. I'm surprised he's not like looking to dash in or anything. Yeah, obviously they have way more experience with this matchup than I do, right? But do they lose the trade? I feel like even if they lose the trade, it's fine because the Rel is bot side and could threaten a dive, right? So I feel like a losing trade is not necessarily bad. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like I would be dashing in here. Are they worried that the jungler is like right here waiting in the bush? But yeah, even then, like I feel like this you could use the same argument where Rel is like 10 seconds behind. You can definitely live for 10 seconds with your flash up. Yeah, not sure what the reason is. When this next wave comes, right? As soon as this next wave comes, you know your wave is pushing because you have more creeps. The Rel is starting drag, so you should just hard push this wave and then just help the Rel let drag. And then the drag is done, the wave will bounce back, and you're in a good spot again. That's why he Qs the wave. Pretty early drag here, about 5:30. Spawns at 5 minutes, so yeah, probably just one of the earliest you can get. And yep, pretty typical macro here. The Vi just trade sides. I think drag is definitely more worth it than the grubs. The grubs could be more worth it if the Caitlyn and the Melio were like winning this lane and they were like constantly hitting turret. Then the grubs might be worth it, but that's not the case. I will say it's very hard for Lucian, since his range is so short, very hard for Lucian to actually hit the tier 1 turret. So the idea is you just want to trade with the Caitlyn and the Melio. Right now, we're in a good spot, right? We have better items, and the wave isn't a really good spot where we can actually trade. I still think he should have traded earlier, like I mentioned. He Qs the wave, yeah, or like it's like the same concept again, right? Right here, you will already know their cannon is gonna die before yours. Next wave's not a cannon wave, right? Because this is the cannon wave. Hard push the next wave, and then you can just get a free base if you want to. You could slow push, but it doesn't do anything. As Lucian, you can't, like even if you build up a fat wave, it's very hard to hit the tier 1 turret just because your range is so shit. You should use your slow push to just get a free base in, right? If you get a free base in while the Caitlyn is hitting creeps at her turret, you come back with stronger items and the Caitlyn still needs to go home. You're creating an advantage in that sense. You know, it's not an advantage where you're depleting her health bar, but it's an advantage where you are always going to be stronger than Caitlyn item-wise. Yeah, that's what happens here, right? They use this wave to get a free base off. Enemy Caitlyn Melio cannot freeze this wave. If they try to freeze this wave, they'll just cancel recall and harass the shit out of them, right? They can't freeze this wave, but like I said before, Ruler can't hit the turret either because his range is so bad, so you should just go home. And you'll see here, the enemy bot lane knows that they went home because they didn't harass them on a turret. So they're going to hard push this wave. Unfortunately, they will be able to get a base off as well, but I mean, you start coming back to lane faster. I actually don't know why he pinged the tri-bush there. Like, I feel like it's like 100% they're going home. But Caitlyn has only a longsword in her inventory. She has to go home. And I'm not too scared of Amelia Realm. It's not like Nautilus or Leona or anything like that. I would slow push this wave because it's a cannon wave. If you try and nuke this wave, the Caitlyn Amelia will come back in time. So should just only last hit here. Do the same thing that he's been doing all game, right? You only last hit this wave. When the next wave comes, you have the option to hard push, and then you and Nami are free to roam, which is really big. We can send the Nami to help the Rel if she needs help. The Lucian shouldn't move. Lucian should stay in lane here, or is he gonna miss too many XP? The Caitlyn has Zerka Greaves. And Caitlyn likes to go tier 2 boots first because she can just abuse her range even more. Just more move speed, better spacing. It might get a little bit hard here. On the first base back, Lucian had better items. Right, he had the Kerchius Shard, and the Caitlyn only had a longsword. But I'd say at this point, Caitlyn has better items, slightly better items, right? Because she can poke you down with the tier 2 boots. Wants to keep the wave here. As long as he doesn't get overwhelmed with creeps, it's a good spot. And it helps the Rel kind of set up a gank for the Rel. He doesn't have his first item completion yet, so he's not super strong just yet. But the Caitlyn, I'm sure the Caitlyn doesn't have hers either because she rushed tier 2 boots. So that's 1100 gold that's not being contributed to her first item as well. So very unlikely. Actually, I'm 100% sure she doesn't have her first item. So it's still okay, you know what I mean? He's not weaker than the Caitlyn per se. This is gonna be their second drag. Looks like enemy team is giving. Looks like ooh, enemy team tried for a quick little steal. This looks Omega Grief by the Vi. Okay. There's a bit of lag on the stream. It's not my end, it's just the video. The enemy Vi griefed for sure, but the enemy Lilia is here. The enemy top laner Lilia is here, so yeah, I mean it's fine. Like obviously they lost an extra member, but Udyr's getting a lot of top. Lilia's missing a lot of top waves, so it's not the worst. And the most important thing is that Ruler's team gets the dragon, so I think it's a win in JDG's books. And there are the free boots. That's why he chugged the potion, right? I mean, he's a little bit low, but I think that's really the main reason why. He's tracking his free boots. Plates are still up, but like people are so strong at this stage of the game. Like when you have like your first item, you can kind of shove waves as you please. I think what's going to happen is like both AD carries are just going to try and shove and clear waves, and then they're just going to try and move. I don't think any plates will be taken. Like there's no point in like freezing or slow pushing anymore because you want to fight. Yeah, I guess what I'm trying to say is like you're at the point where like you're strong enough to like all in all the time. Rift Herald is up, so it looks like enemy team is getting Rift Herald. It looks like we're giving because we don't have any vision topside. Nami's out of wards, so she recalled for wards. And then he just completed his Blood Song, so yeah. You see Talia is actually hitting turret here because we know they're on Rift Herald. But if we didn't know, if there was no Rift Herald here, then there's no way that Talia can actually hit this turret. There's no way. But because we know they're on Rift Herald, Talia feels safe to hit the turret. Worst case, it's a one-on-one, right? And most of the time, she'll be able to escape. Azir's top. So they're all topside. Jungler just finished Rift Herald. We see both solo laners topside. We saw Caitlyn and Melio fog topside. So Talia is 100% safe down here. Caitlyn and Melio haven't shown up yet, so it means they went home. If they didn't go home, they would already be on this wave, right? Because they're not on this wave contesting this push, they went home. So Ruler feels comfortable playing up here. You just want to make sure, even though you're playing up, you still want to be playing on this half of the lane rather than standing here, right? Just because there is still a chance that the Vi or someone else is topside. And your Nami is botside getting vision for your Talia, so you want to be as close to your Nami as possible in case something bad happens. Something very interesting here is he's mentally tracking where he thinks the Caitlyn is. He feels like he can only take this set of creeps before the Caitlyn gets back. He doesn't feel like he can take, like, I'm sure he can take these 3 range creeps, but he'll lose so much tempo, right? Like, yeah, this is like a very interesting concept, right? Like, if you stay to kill these 3 range creeps, it's going to take, let's say, like another, I don't know, like 10 seconds. And then you have to back up all the way to your turret because the Caitlyn is already here to contest you, right? You have to back up all the way to your turret, which probably takes another, I don't know, like 5 seconds. Then if you channel recall, it takes 8 seconds, right? But if you just get kind of the juiciest part of the wave is the melee creep and the cannon, right? So if you get the juiciest part of the wave, you can recall a little bit more greedily. You can recall in a spot like this. You probably save, right, like we said like, I don't know, 10 seconds from the range creeps, you probably save another like 3 seconds. Instead of walking back all the way to your turret, you can recall in a more greedy spot. And then you'll get back from base by the time the next wave comes. And this is what a lot of pro players do this, especially with TP. You'll notice a lot of mid laners do this when they have TP. So they'll take the 3 melee creeps and then they'll just back and TP back. It's okay if you lose the range creeps because they are not worth as much. Yeah, like it's for tempo, you know what I mean? Like you're foregoing the range creeps so that you can be on the map a little bit earlier. Like what I was talking about, like if he stayed to kill these 3 creeps, the Kaylin would obviously see him, right? And then she would also see him backing up. And like, I'm sure the melee is like 2 seconds behind her. Like they would walk up and cancel you. You know what I mean? So like that wastes so much time by you. If they do get a cancel off, then the next wave is immediately fucked, right? Because the next wave is not a can wave. The Kaylin immediately will nuke the next wave, and you miss the entire next wave. So just like some forward thinking by Ruler, which is good. So he could sell his pink ward and buy Zeal, but he's choosing to keep the pink ward, and then he just gets Courteous Shard, and then he finishes his tier 2 boots. I think it would have been better if he sold his pink ward and just bought Zeal, because I think like the tier 2 boots on Lucian aren't that important, like, but the rapid fire cannon spike on Lucian is really insane, especially with Nami. Like it's exponential, right? Like you use the rapid fire cannon proc to get more first strike gold to harass the enemy more often, and that will lead to small advantages at some point. So I think this spike is way bigger than the tier 2 boots. Personally, I would have held off on the tier 2 boots. Interesting. He's going for the red trinket. So he feels like he can always get push and then use the red trinket to clear vision. And I think both teams are in a good spot to fight. This drag is spawning, so it makes sense. The Weaver's Wall is actually pretty nice. It lets them start this drag. You see the Vi is basing here, so it looks like the enemy team feels like they can't contest. So instead, they're just trying to get mid tier 1 while Ruler's team or JDG is preoccupied on the drag. So very typical macro here. Talia is trying to stop the Vi's base, which would be really good. He actually does. Maybe he gets a kill too. We lose tier 1 mid for sure. It was already chunked, and we're hitting the drag, so we can't defend. Hopefully we can save the mid tier 2 though. Let's see. It's gonna be tough. Because Rel is still on drag. Talia is bot. You see here, like, you have to approach this situation as Lucian Nami here. You have to approach this situation very delicately because you're outnumbered as fuck here. Even though the Vi is not here, you're outnumbered as fuck. So he's gonna, you see, he callings pretty defensively. He still gets hit by the Lilia bowling ball and then the ulti here, so a little bit sus. Forced to flash. He actually, oh man, the Nami didn't block it. Dying here is so bad. Dying here is so bad because they lost the tier 2 as well, and he lost flash. It's so bad. So bad here. This death is so bad. That was a really unlucky Lilia sleep. Like, they could have just given this tier 2. I think this calling is super fine. Like, to try and defend. I think he should be aiming for the wave instead of the champions here. It's super unlucky that he got hit by the Lilia E. Or maybe he didn't see it because he still has dash, right? Wait, how did he even... I didn't even see the bowling ball. Oh, it's like super hard to see. I guess he didn't. He could have easily dashed the bowling ball, but it's a bit hard. I guess I thought it was hard to see as well. I think he could have lived if the Nami blocked it, but like, okay, let's say he lives here. It's still not a good situation, right? Because he still used flash and they still lost the tier 2 turrets. The best play is to just call the wave. If you can, if it defends a turret, that's ideal. If you still lose a turret, that's fine. I mean, it is what it is. Like, you guys have soul point at least, but yeah, tier 2 mid turret is obviously not good. So super good by the NIP to get two tier 2 mid turrets for 1 drag. Pretty good. Man, this item is expensive as fuck. Or no, that's because he doesn't have Zeal. Oh, Rookie's still on NIP. Oh, he completely botched the shuffle. God damn, that was so bad. I guess Nami Flash is down, but yeah, I don't know. Super awkward. You see, he sweepers in the lane here. This is also something that you will see in higher elos. A really good spot to ward is just like in the middle of mid lane because it sees like everything, right? You see people coming back from base and you see which direction they go, and then based on that, you can make a more informed decision, right? So like, just warding in the lane itself is super valuable. Just checking for wards. You want to check behind you because the enemy team just took your mid-tier 2 turret, so they probably laid wards in your jungle. Looks like top tier 1 is up as well, so like next couple of minutes, yeah, Nami's just going to put wards topside, and then they're going to try and siege mid or top and see what happens. Udyr has no TP, so in my opinion, the Udyr should just group and help secure vision, help fight, and stuff like that. Basis for a Zeal here. If he does want to buy the Zeal, that is the best time to buy the Zeal because like we're about to play for these 2 turrets, right? No one's sieging yet, so by the time he gets back, that's when the siege actually starts, and that's when the fight could actually happen. That's when he needs to be there. Like let's say, so that's the idea of tempo, right? Like you're there on time. If he stayed for this extra wave and then based, he's not on time anymore, right? He's going to be late. Like the Talia would have the wave here, and a fight could potentially break out. Yeah, basically you want to be moving with your teammates, moving as one unit, and that's pretty much based on the waves. He's gonna pick up red real quick. His team needs to wait for him. Since Lilia is pushing bot, the Udyr has to defend bot, and then Lucian's catching mid. So because of this, their top lane needs to back off as well. Because if their top lane keeps pushing while Lucian's catching a wave here, Udyr's catching a wave here, the enemy team is going to engage on them, right? Because I mean they have numbers, and Lucian and Udyr can't move. We see them like they see them on the map because of the creeps. So it's like a very patient game. It's always based off the waves. Now someone needs to help Ruler get mid prow. It's basically like since Udyr doesn't have TP, like they can really only play 2 lanes. They can't play all 3 lanes at once because if you have all your resources in one lane, which they're about to have all the resources mid, right? The Udyr needs to wait until someone from the enemy team shows before he can really like feel comfortable pushing out the next wave, right? Like all your resources are mid. If the enemy team is all here and they gang up on the Udyr, no one from his team can help him. So like it's very hard to play 3 lanes because like they just don't have enough resources to support each lane and make them feel comfortable when taking the waves. Okay, push out this wave. And they need to reestablish vision here. I think Nami's out of wards though. That's my guess. Oh, Nami says she wants to go home, but he can't push. Nami's out of wards. How much money do we need for RFC? I think it's like 850, right? So he needs 400 more gold. Okay, one more wave, then he has RFC. So he's probably telling, this is competitive, right? He's probably telling his team he needs one more wave. He has RFC, so they need to just chill out until he gets RFC. Okay, hurry, push this wave. Go, 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 go. Nice, he has it. Alright, everyone can base. Nami can drop all her wards and base one more time. Because as Nami here, you might as well drop all your wards and base together, right? Because like if Lucian bases and you're just, like you can't do anything by yourself, right? Like you're just chilling in mid, like what are you going to do? Like you can't push waves, so you might as well just drop all your wards and base again. Okay. Big spike for Lucian Nami here. So you see here with the RFC extra range, he should be looking for more aggressive dashes. So let's look out for that. They still really need to get mid tier 1. Mid tier 1 is obviously the most important, but mid tier 1, top tier 1 is ideal. Drag is spawning soon, so it's probably just mid tier 1 here if they can. Okay, now we're gonna get vision bot side because the drag is spawning. Azir's top though. I don't know what the Talia has. Looks like the Talia is not going top. Maybe she doesn't have TP. So if she doesn't have TP, then she really wants to fight right now because Azir is pressuring top. So they should fight for this mid wave. Caitlyn, I feel like they should have. They should contest this wave, right? Because they have numbers here. Well, Caitlyn got the wave already though. It's kind of. Azir's gonna get top tier 1 for sure. He's TPing now actually. He knows he has to TP early because this is JDG's soul. Okay, finish this drag fast. Can they? Okay, another wall to buy some time. Oh, this drag is tanky as fuck. Okay, it's gonna be a fight. Might be a 50-50. Oh shoot, someone's flanking, no? Okay, we see Lilia, we see Azir. But no one is actually behind this wall. I thought someone was behind this wall for a sec. This ward is actually nice. You might think this ward is troll because it's like behind them, right? Like it's like in their jungle, but it just covers for any flanks. So yeah, JDG's comp, typically it's like kind of front to back, you know what I mean? They have 2 tanks and then Talia, Lucian, Nami, typically front to back. He decides to calling here pretty aggressively because the Vi is preoccupied on the drag. Oh, They didn't get the soul though. But they do get 2 kills, and then they can go to Baron. Can they go to Baron? I think so. They need to fight this mid wave first. Mid wave first! I mean, that was basically a 50-50 smite, so can't really blame the Rel. Ooh. Leah gets a catch on the Azir. What happened? I don't know. Just a random seismic shove or something. Azir no flash. They don't feel like they can do it anymore though. Even though we got Azir's flash, these two, the death timers are not super long, so yeah, they can't comfortably start the Baron. They have no ults to turn as well, so just too risky. Yeah, most people after the team fight want to base, you know, heal up, right? Use the gold that they got from the fight, but I think Ruler's feeling pretty healthy right now, and I think the Caitlyn and Emilio want to base, so I guess he can stay for one more wave. Oh, I guess he also wanted this next wave for BF Sword gold. See, before this wave spawns, he had 1100 gold. He needs 170 more gold, right? So staying for the extra wave, that makes sense for the BF Sword. Okay, so yeah, we want to use Lucian Nami strength here. Still want to siege this mid tier 1. It's just a little bit hard with Lucian, just because his range is so bad. He's more of like a commit type of champ. Yeah, I need to set up mid vision. Use mid pushes to set up mid vision. Yeah, it's gonna be I don't know, a bit of a stalemate. I think it's gonna be a bit of a stalemate until the next dragon, where I mistakes mid. Ooh, look at this chunk though. Ooh, this chunk is huge. The RFC's up. WER. Look, almost actually kills the Caitlyn. That's kind of insane. The Caitlyn's chunked. I don't know if she has red buff, but she might be going home here. We get mid push here. Maybe we can siege mid. Maybe we can start Baron. You see, Talia's walking here. Can we get mid turret? Ooh, no, I don't think so. Caitlyn stayed. She has some healing. The wall comes out. Lydia's topside mid. Okay, we're gonna chill out for a bit. Udyr got the top wave in. Azir's going bot. Yeah. Every time he has rapid fire cannon and he feels safe enough, you can just dash in pretty aggressively. I'm gonna base for a pickaxe here. Feels like nothing's happening, so you might as well get as strong as you can. Bit of a stalemate, you know what I mean? Yeah, very hard to siege turrets. It has to be like an engage happens, but both teams don't really have great engage. If the Vi tries to engage, she'll get absolutely one shot, right? And the Rel, like, they can't dive with the Rel. Like, the enemy team is not weak enough where they can just like straight up dive. So a bit of a stalemate. So if you can just grab your items when you can, that's probably the best play. If nothing's happening on the map, you see Udyr and Talia are being pushed into. They have no prio, right? No prio. They're getting pushed into. So this is a great time to base if you want to base. Nami can get more wards. And yeah, we'll just keep doing the same thing until you can find like an opening. From the last get-go around, they got mid turret to half HP. So let's see what goes around this time. Drags spawning relatively soon. I think a minute. Yeah, we need help getting mid prio so that we can establish vision around the dragon pit. Like, since JDG has 3 dragons and NIP only has, I think, 1 dragon based on what I'm tracking, a lot of times you can give this drag and just take the Baron instead. The problem with this team comp is it doesn't do Baron that fast, so I think they will just try and fight this drag. They're a little bit late. Emilio definitely already has vision around this area, so they will need to fight for this mid wave so that the Nami can walk with the Rel and the Udyr protecting her and clear vision. Oh, this turret's really annoying. This is a good Azir turret. Oh, this next drag is going to be a little bit hard. I think the Udyr just needs to face check. The Udyr is so tanky. Okay, turret first. Okay, after this wave, you can try and... You see Udyr's already just walking in. Because he sees their bot lane here. So the Udyr feels comfortable just face checking. And now they can clear vision pretty comfortably, so super good. Okay, one more mid wave. Well, this is really good by Talia here. The Talia leashes the drag out while everyone's preoccupied with the mid wave. She starts leashing the drag. And then she actually, you'll see she actually backs up here to get ready for the wall. Okay, nice. Wow, they got soul here. Mountain Soul is broken. Uh-oh, he's fucked. Oh my god. Where did this Vi even come from? She came from holy shit. I think she must have just been chilling here, just waiting in this bush. So basically, like, by Vi waiting in this bush, she basically, like, gave up the soul to try and win this fight. Yeah, it's a nice combo here. Got the fucking Azir shuffle as well. I think it's pretty fucking hard for JDG to win the fight when Lucian is dead, because the like the only damage really is like all three of these guys are actually all four of these are magic damage. Lucian is the only AD champ on their team. If I was the enemy team, right, like they're definitely building like a ton of MR, like especially the Vi and shit. So like these guys are not doing any damage. So they just straight up lose the fight. Okay, Lilia has Jack Show gives MR. I'm surprised he's going Warden's Mail, but maybe he's going Frozen Heart for mana. Vi is beating a ton of MR now. Getting very hard to kill. I think this Talia really needs Void Staff, or it's not Void Staff. A lot of them have been going like Crypto Bloom or something. It's like the other Blighted Jewel item. That one has been more popular in competitive. Looks like they're trying to go to Baron. I don't know if they can. Udyr and Talia are pretty broken in the pit. Azir has no flash. Azir Vi no ult. He's starting Baron now, so we know no one's in the bush. Can safely face check. Pretty sure. Oh, they're pretty broken in the pit, but this Baron setup actually has an escape path this way, so it's a little bit unfortunate for Ruler's team. It's good kiting by NIP. Maybe. Look at Vi. Oh, Vi's actually. Wait, what? Vi died and Talia got the Baron. Jesus Christ. But yeah, like the Udyr is like... The Udyr and the Talia are so annoying in this pit. Because the Udyr fucking Phoenix slow, AoE slow, the Talia just drops all the rocks, like... It's so annoying in this pit. I think it's a mistake by NIP. Maybe they felt like that was the best Baron chance they had, because like it's going to be even harder the next team fight, because the enemy team has Mountain Soul now. Super fat wave for Ruler. He has IE, just waiting for mid base. I would push one more and then base, personally. I was going to say I would have pushed one more base, bought my IE, and then taken red and then gone mid. But it looks like they want to siege now while two are dead. So he's just going to take red and then make his way in mid. Seems like that's the call. He doesn't need the IE spike because two are dead. It looks like they got the mid turret, right? They don't need Ruler here, so he can go back top. In that case, what I said is definitely better. Where after this wave, he pushes one more, bases, gets IE, and then takes red. That's definitely better. But it's a little bit hard to say at this... On this frame, it's a little bit hard to say whether they need him. Actually, no, I think... Yeah, I think you can say that they don't need him for... Like, I would... We already know this mid turret is half HP from before. So I don't think they even need him for this mid turret already. Because there's two dead here. And then they have Baron, so their creeps are like impossible to wave clear. So he's super strong. IE spike is huge. Another crit hook as well. If you want to E aggressively, you will actually just chunk someone for so much. And you'll get like 100 gold off for strike. It's actually going to be fucking ridiculous. Yeah, still a little bit hard to siege as Lucian. I think they should push 2 lanes. It looks like they are pushing. Ooh. Spotted. Ooh. Wow. The Vi has to flash there, I guess. Crazy. Very interesting that the Vi flashed, right? Full HP Vi. But she knows she's about to get fucking blown up. Push 2 lanes here. Yeah, with the Baron. You're just poking at the turret bit by bit. You are getting the turrets. Same thing's happening bot with the Baron creeps. There's one turret. You see, look at this shit. It's just E auto attack. Look at this damage. Okay, full HP Caitlyn down to half HP, just like that. Just E auto attack. No other spells. Actually insane. Bot tier 2 is being chunked. He wants to siege here. He needs help though. We have the wall ready. You see how like Talia is constantly playing in the jungle, looking for wall, like the wall angles, right? If she is sitting here, she can't get a good wall off. So she wants to be coming in from a side angle. That's the best wall. Okay, rapid fire is up. You see he's not autoing the range creep because he doesn't want to use his rapid fire proc. Okay, we're walling here just to secure this turret. I think it was already secured, but okay. Rapid fire up now. You see he's really, his eyes, obviously we can't see his eyes like from like what he's looking at, but I'm certain his eyes are focused on the rapid fire number, just to know when it's up and when it's down. Super, super important. It determines whether you can walk up or not. How the fuck did the Slilia ball even hit him? Wow. Okay, his cam. I don't even know how he gets hit by here. Like, he's not even looking, bro. This is the easiest dash away ever. Like, what? I guess it doesn't even matter. But I feel like in a lot of scenarios, he could have been punished there. Elder just spawn. They have no wards, so they need to get in there. They need the tanks to tank. Okay, they haven't started it yet. Yeah, this is good. You see how they're like slowly inching forward? That's like, yeah, you want to face check, but like you as the carries don't want to face check, right? You want the rel to face check for you. Udyr with the flank. A lot of flashes. Okay. Play slow. We're gonna wait for Lucian here. The Udyr's actually unkillable though. Absolutely unkillable. This guy is actually unkillable. Bag is always free here. Ooh, nice dash in. Ooh, holy shit, he almost died for that. Yeah, very volatile situations going on. But this drag is free. Enemy team has no smite. How much does he need for LDR? I think it's like 1550, right? That's what I want to say. So he has enough then. Baron is also up, so we're gonna buy our LDR, take red, go to Baron television. Look, he's actually full build. He's full build, down 50 CS, and the Caitlyn is an item and a half behind him. Granted, I guess his team probably has more turrets, but still, it's like actually like kind of absurd. Yeah, we take red, and then the team needs to get vision together. So the Rel, the Udyr need to help the Nami get vision. The mage supports cannot get vision by themselves. They're going to get absolutely blasted. So you need people to escort them, right? If you have like Nautilus, Leona, they can get vision a little bit easier by themselves, but at the end of the day, they're support. And like at this stage of the game, they're going to get one shot. So this shit is like especially, like the support item is like especially broken. Like the double support item, because you get so many wards. Like even Ruler can drop 3 wards himself. Yeah, super hard for the enemy team to fight here. They're just hoping for a miracle. Elder Dragon Baron seems pretty GG, but we'll see. Ruler even has flash, so very hard to kill him. I like where he's standing. This position is actually really nice on this Baron map because you can just escape here. If the enemy team comes this way, super nice to escape here. Before, if you like stand in the back of the pit, it feels kind of bad because like, I guess with Lucian it's okay. With Lucian, it's okay if you stand in the back of the pit before, because you can still dash out. But like playing like Xayah, you're standing in the back of the pit before, you can't even leave. But as Xayah, if you stand here now, like you're still safe. I wonder what the enemy team is waiting for. They're waiting for a miracle. Hopefully, like they're waiting maybe like one more big item spike from their carries. I think that's like the only chance they have. Pretty sure the Lucian, I'm pretty sure Ruler could just like open, and when I say open, I just mean like dash forward and use culling. He could just open on them just to harass them, you know what I mean? These traps are annoying. Definitely you want to push 2 lanes against Caitlyn because she can only trap 1 lane, and then the other lane's free. Yeah, you'll see a lot of times in pro play, they will use Tilia ult to siege turrets. Sometimes they'll do it with Ornn ult as well. They'll call the Ornn ult, and then the enemy team has to respect it. They have to back off, and then while they're backing off, your team gets the turret for free. Yeah, you see, he just opens up to harass them, right? Because you want to lay the pressure on them. Any points of damage before the fight actually starts, it helps your team like so much, you know what I mean? Like they feel more pressure, like they are forced to fight in an unfavorable situation where they're chunked. And then, you know, you have creeps pushed up already. The enemy team already needs to force. So like by opening up on them, you are putting even more pressure on them to force in an unfavorable situation. There's one Nexus turret. I mean, enemy team has to go. The game's over, right? Like, I don't know why the enemy team just wouldn't even try, but I mean, they can't do anything, I guess, but I don't know. It seems like they're not even like trying to fight. Yeah. Yeah, but that's the game. Yeah, thanks for watching. I hope you like these kinds of videos. Definitely open to any kind of feedback. And yeah, let me know if you know you have a certain pro player you want to watch or a certain champion or a certain matchup. Yeah, any ideas would be appreciated. So thank you all.